This is my Premier League team of the season so far. This is 100% spot on. In goal, we're going with Vicario. I'm a massive fan of Vicario. I say it as I see it. I don't like Spurs doing well. Not many fans do. He's come in and he's made Spurs so much more defensively resolute. I know things have changed since Van de Ven got injured and Maddison. Leading up to the kind of Chelsea game, leading up to the Wolves game, Spurs had a really solid defence. Vicario's pulling off great saves. He's got a great reflex kind of save on him. He's a natural shot stopper. I think he's actually pretty good in the air, relatively. He's not the biggest keeper in the world, and he's good with his feet. This signing for Spurs went right under the radar, and people talk about David De Gea leaving Man United, and some of these keepers can stay in the club a little bit too long, and they pass their sell-by date a little bit, and Lloris was a massive culprit of that. I think Spurs' struggles under Mourinho, under Conte, a large part of it is the fact that Levy wasn't able to move on Hugo Lloris. The fact there's not been a massive uptake in signing him since he's left Spurs is testament to that. He's not a world-class keeper. I don't think he was for 3, 4, 5 years. Good, solid professional, but he's never going to take Spurs to the levels they need to be to even try and win trophies. And Vicario he's been absolutely fantastic. Some of the saves he's made have been unbelievable. Right back, the first thought that came to mind is Pedro Porro. He's been absolutely electric up and down the wing for Spurs. He's so forward thinking. I love how athletic he is. He's good on the ball as well. He's actually a very good footballer to watch as well. He's very aesthetically pleasing, and Spurs fans can take a lot of joy from that because they used to watch Matt Doherty at right back for a season or two. So Pedro Porro has been unbelievable. We have to talk about Saliba, one of the best defences in the league this season, Arsenal. It's down to Saliba returning. Obviously at the back end of last season, he wasn't playing many football matches. He was injured, and Arsenal's title challenge ended because he got injured, and they didn't have the backup to kind of replace him. And Rob Holding, who's not even starting for Palace these days, was the option for Arsenal. So it says everything you need to know. Saliba's come in. He's been an absolute Rolls Royce of a centre back. So good on the ball. I even think physically he's put on a little bit of muscle. He looks even bigger than he was last season. He's an absolute rock. He's an absolute unit of a centre back, and I think he's been fantastic this season. He gets into my team of the season so far. Alongside him, it has to be Mickey Van de Ven, a signing again that went under the radar for Spurs. Maybe because it's been so bad at Tottenham for so many years that ultimately a signing comes in, you think it's probably going to be another flop again. Look at Longley last season, for example, and the fact that Eric Dyer is still there. There's still a few gaps in the squad, but Van de Ven came in, took his position. His pace was incredible, and the fact that he got a hamstring injury for a centre-back says a lot, because usually they don't get hamstring injuries. It shows you how athletic he is. It shows you how quick he is, and he's been absolutely superb. And actually, even on the ball, he's a fantastic player. Good performance. I know it's against Luton Town, but he was great against Luton. Massively imperative in getting them the win. So he's a massive big game player. I think he's only going to improve. He's young as well. What a player he's been for Spurs. And the reason Spurs were top of the table, two factors, including Vicario, is James Maddison and Mickey Van de Ven. Mickey Van de Ven gets in to the second centre-back slot. Left back, you could easily put Udogie in there. He's been fantastic, but not for me. Maybe the sending off has hurt him a little bit. Nuri at Wolves. I know he plays as a left wing back, and it is more of a back five for Wolves, but let's put him in at left back. He's been absolutely superb for Gary O'Neill. His athleticism, his left foot is a wand. He can link up play very well. This is all relative to what Wolves are, a side that everyone tipped to get relegated. Lopetegui couldn't do anything with it, apparently. Gary O'Neill's come in and improved. The likes of Hwang, Lamina and Nuri at left wing back has been absolutely superb. Defensively, he's so robust as well, putting in big clearances, big challenges. When that ball gets whipped across on the left-hand side, he's always in a good position defensively. I think it's helped that he's got three centre-backs behind him, the likes of Kilman, etc. So he is absolutely superb. He's so athletic. He works so hard. And Wolves, I think, are punching for a mid-table position with Gary O'Neill. And I'm a massive fan of Gary O'Neill. If you subscribe to the channel, you know that by now. If you haven't, make sure you subscribe. In midfield, Declan Rice. He's been the best DM in the league this season by a country mile. Obviously, you could throw in Sarr, Basuma, Rodri. He's still kicking about. City is still in and around the top of the table. There's not much City representation as it is, but Declan Rice has come in. A lot of pressure, a lot of eyeballs on him because of the price tag. His ability on the ball is world class. His leadership is world class. The way he drives through midfield, even in the final 5-10 minutes of a game, his athleticism is world class. His fitness is world class. He is a fantastic player. He's a role model. He's a leader. It's how you should play football. And if Arsenal are going to do anything this season, it's all going to come through Declan Rice. And the fact that you can say that after 2 or 3 months at the club is a testament to how good the signing's been. It's Declan Rice in DM. Ahead of him is Dominic Szoboszlai. He's scoring world-class goals. His long-range passing is absolutely fantastic. And Liverpool, when they get it going, are one of the best sides in the league in terms of their attacking output. And it starts from the kind of the midfield area of who's driving that ball into Salah, who's driving that ball into Diaz, and it's all been Szoboszlai. Obviously, McAllister's fantastic as well. I've got to shout out him. And you've got to shout out a few other. I think Enzo Fernandez has been good. I do think that Kovacic has had a good run for City. Not many United players, but there are a few Liverpool players. There's no question about it. And Szoboszlai is that attacking player for me in a 4-3-3. Then alongside him, it has to be Cole Palmer. This guy's got, I think, 9 goal contributions for Chelsea, whether goals or assists. His link-up play is absolutely superb. The Guardiola ideal player, which Cole Palmer always was, is just his trajectory at City was too early. He needed game time now to get to where he wants to go in his career. That's why he's left. It wasn't down to talent. It wasn't down to falling out with the manager. It was just down to where City's trajectory is versus where Cole Palmer's is. It just didn't fit in terms of the timescale. He's gone. The Guardiola effect is gone, and now influence Chelsea because everything goes through Cole Palmer. His first touch is world class. He can get the ball at any angle, link up play, score big goals. He's got nerves of steel. That penalty against City was hard, very, very hard to be doing that at his age. He's now playing for England, and even a couple of weeks ago, you wouldn't have brought in Cole Palmer to be one of the players of the season so far. The last 2, 3, 4 weeks have been absolutely electric for Cole Palmer, and if he keeps playing like this for 6, 7 months, he'll actually be in for a shout to be starting for England. I'm not even gassing. So he goes into midfield. On the right, Mohamed Salah, one of the highest scorers in the Premier League this season. You look down at every Liverpool score, Salah's always on the score sheet, scoring big penalties, scoring, beautiful little finishes on his left foot at Anfield, like the one against Brentford, or the couple. He is still the top 3 players in the world. I think it's De Bruyne, Salah, and Mbappe. Maybe that's fair. Maybe Bellingham gets in there now as well, but Salah is still at that level. He's not dropping off. Ignore the age. Ignore the Saudi Arabia bid. He's not Jordan Henderson going out for a retirement community, a retirement party. He's still operating at world-class levels, and there's no doubt about it. Down the middle, you have to have Erling Haaland. He's the highest scorer in the league. Again, if you take out his goals, where does City finish? If you have them and put a different striker in, a random striker, then City might not be as deadly as they have been this season. And the reality is, I think there's still a few issues at City, especially with De Bruyne being injured, especially with Doku coming in being young. I don't think Nunez has worked. I don't think Kovacic has massively worked. I think he's a really technically gifted midfielder. All these problems or slight problems get exacerbated if Haaland doesn't score the amount of goals that he does. So Haaland down the middle all day long. And then on the left, we have to have in another Spurs player because they're so good going forward. Heung-min Son. He is one of the highest scorers in the league with 8 goals, 1 assist. He's leveled up his game now that Harry Kane's gone. Out of all the Spurs players, you can have a debate about Vicario, Van der Ven, Udogie, Sarr. They're good players, Premier League players, very, very talented. Son is a world-class player. And he's now at the age of 30, 31. He'll be thinking about his career, what he can achieve, and how can he get the most out of his time at Spurs, because it's probably coming to an end in the next couple of years. With all due respect, I think he'll be looking for some sort of success. It's hard at Spurs to get that, of course. Spurs have got an opportunity with City dropping points, Arsenal not being perfect, Liverpool not being perfect, Man United and Chelsea being average. Some will be thinking, look, I can get these goals if there's work behind me. If Van der Ven comes back fully fit, if Maddison's back, he'll be thinking about winning an FA Cup. He'll be thinking about winning the league title, no doubt about it. And his goals have contributed towards any kind of thought that Spurs can win the league. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Give me your 11 in the comment section if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you very, very soon.